Hi everyone, this is Lovely Rose Belisar. My topic today is about teaching and learning methods. This is the continuation report of Jumel Rojo. And first, let us identify first what is teaching and learning methods. Okay. The teaching learning method should allow cooperation, competition, as well as individualism or independent learning among the students. Here, here are some examples of teaching and learning methods. First is cooperative learning activities. Should allow students to work together, such as projects and activities. Next is independent learning activities. Should allow learners to develop personal responsibility. For example, is personal reflection. Next is competitive activities, where students will test their competencies against in a healthy manner. Should allow learners also to perform to their maximum. For example, the games. Here are some behaviors teaching learning methods. First is direct instruction by Barak Koslin Shine model. Here are the detailed steps in direct instruction. First, the state learning objectives or outcomes. You can begin lesson with a short statement of objective or desired learning outcomes. Next is review. Introduce short review of the previous or prerequisite learning. Next is present new materials. You can present materials in small or a sequence manner. Next is explain. Give clear and detailed instruction to the students. Next is practice. Provide active practice for all students. Next is you can guide. Provide also asset work activities for your students. Next is check for understanding. You can assist students' comprehension. Okay, if the students can understand the topic. Next is provide feedback. Provide systematic feedback and corrections for the students. Next is assess performance. Obtain student success rate of 80% or more during practice session. Next is review and test. You can provide for spaced review and testing for your students. Okay, second is guided instruction by Midline Hunter model in Ornstein and Hampkins 2018. First is review. You can ask the students to summarize their points. Next is anticipatory set. Focus students' attention on new lessons. Next is the objective. State explicitly what is to be learned in that specific subject. Okay. Next is input. Identify needed knowledge and skills for learning new lesson. Present new materials in sequence steps. Next is modeling. Provide several examples or demonstrations throughout the lesson. You can demonstrate well. You can be a model of your students. You can demonstrate well the topic, what it is all about. Okay. Next is check for understanding. Monitor students' work before they become involved in lesson activities. Check to see their understand directions or tasks. You can check the understanding of the students. You can monitor them so that the students can or maybe the students can understand well that specific topic. Okay. Next is is guided practice. Ask students questions and check their answers. Next is independent practice. Assign independent work or practice reasonably where that students can work on their own understanding. Next is mastery learning. First, you need to clarify. Explain to the students what they are expected to learn on that particular subject. Okay. Next, inform. You can inform your students. Okay. Teach the lessons relying on the whole group instruction. Next is you can give a pre-test also. You can give a formative quiz for your students. Next is group. Based on results, divide the class into mastery and non-mastery groups. 80% considered as mastery. Okay. Next is enrich and correct. Give enrichment instruction to mastery group. Give also a corrective or practice or drill to non-mastery group so that the non-mastery group can enhance their skills, can enhance their capability in critical thinking skills also. Next is post-test. You can give a summary test for the non-mastery group. You can give a post-test as a future educator. Someday you can, as a teacher, you can give a post-test for the non-mastery group so that they enhance also their um, capacity. Okay. Next is assess performance. At least 75% of the students should achieve mastery by the summative test. Okay, next is reteach. If not, repeat procedures starting with the instructions, small study groups, individual tutoring, and homework. You can reteach if the students, so that the students can understand well. You can reteach what they cannot understand about the topic, or you can you can tell your students that you have a small study group so that all your students can relate to others also. Next is Systematic Instruction by Thomas Good and Ger Brophy in Ornstein and Hampkins 2018. Okay, you can also have a review, so uh, they are the same also. No, you can review also or you can provide review exercises to your students, so that they can pop up you crop up the you can summary your desired lesson so that the students can understand well. Then next is development. Promote students' understanding. Next is assess comprehension. You can ask questions, provide control, practice. Next is set work. Provide uninterrupted set work. Okay, next is accountability. Check the students' work. Oh, yes, as a teacher, you can check the students' works if it is correct or non-correct. Okay, next is homework. You can assign homework regularly. Next is special reviews. Provide weekly reviews to check and enhance learning. Okay, next. Let us proceed to teaching learning environment. Okay. First is advocacy. Adequacy. This refers to the actual learning space of classrooms. Next is suitability should consider chronological and development ages of learners. Next is efficiency. This refers to operational and instructional effectiveness. Next is economy. This refers to cost effectiveness. Next is we have the self-assessment or evaluation. It has three main forms of assessment and evaluation. Here are first is self-assessment. Self-assessment provides students with an opportunity to self-evaluate or make judgments among their learning process and products of learning based on criteria that they have agreed on with their instructor. For example, is problem-solving activity. Next is peer assessment. Involves students taking responsibility for assessing the work of their peers against set assessment criteria. For example, is journal. You have peer by peer. Next is discussions. You have by peer also so that you can brainstorm your idea. Next is teacher assessment. Teachers will assist children and young people's progress and achievements in order to be able to plan ahead and to record and own progress. For example, is the teacher can provide formative and summative assessment to their students. Next is informative assessment. Here are the examples. Quizzes, lesson exit tickets to summarize what pupils have learned. Next is worksheets and assignments. In summative assessment, there are final exam and final projects, just like that. Next is the application of the fundamental components to other curriculum designs. So there are four major components of a course design of syllabus. First is intended learning outcomes or the objectives of the study, of the lesson rather. Next is content or subject matter with references. In designing a lesson plan, you have your content or the subject matter. So you can also provide references for that lesson. Okay. Next is methods and strategies with needed resources. Okay. Next is evaluation or the means of assessment. In evaluation, you can assess your students' performance. That's all, and now let us proceed to the next topic. Let us to the continuation of the topic. Let us welcome Nudelin Roseliosa. Thank you.